What if the world we wake up to each morning is no more real than the one we leave behind when we sleep? Dreams have long been dismissed as illusions, mere fragments of memory and imagination stitched together by the mind. But what if they are something more? What if every night, when we close our eyes, we are not escaping reality but stepping into another one just as real, just as meaningful, and just as significant as waking life? Dreams have fascinated philosophers for centuries, making us question the very nature of reality. When we dream, everything feels real. Our senses work, we experience emotions, and we move through a world that seems just as vivid as waking life. But when we wake up, we dismiss it as an illusion. This raises a deep question. How do we know that waking life itself isn't just another kind of dream? Philosophers have explored this idea, forcing us to rethink what reality really means. Plato, one of the most influential philosophers in history, introduced a powerful idea called the allegory of the cave, which helps us question whether the world we experience is truly real. He imagined a group of people who had been chained inside a dark cave since birth, unable to see the outside world. Behind them there was a fire, and between the fire and the prisoners, other people walked by carrying objects. These objects cast shadows on the wall in front of the prisoners, and because the prisoners had never seen anything else, they believed the shadows were real. To them, the entire world was nothing more than these moving shapes on the wall. But what would happen if one prisoner was freed and taken outside? The real world would seem strange and overwhelming. But as his eyes adjusted, he would realize that the shadows in the cave were just illusions, and the real world was far greater than he had ever imagined. If he returned to the cave and told the others, they wouldn't believe him. They would think he had gone mad. Plato used this story to suggest that what we call reality might only be a shadow of something deeper and truer. Just as the prisoners in the cave mistake shadows for reality, what if we too are mistaking the world around us for something real when it is actually just an illusion? And if that's the case, could dreams be another version of reality that we don't fully understand yet? Every time we wake up from a dream, we dismiss it as fake. But what if waking up itself is just stepping out of one illusion into another? What if, like the freed prisoner, we are only seeing a tiny piece of the truth? Centuries later, the philosopher René Descartes took this question even further with his dream argument. Descartes was searching for absolute truth, something he could know for sure without any doubt. But he realized there was a problem. Sometimes when he was dreaming, everything felt completely real. He could feel his body, hear sounds, see people, and even experience pain or joy. If dreams could feel exactly like reality, how could he ever be certain that he wasn't dreaming right now? Descartes argued that if there is no clear way to tell dreams apart from waking life, then we can't be completely sure that waking life is real. After all, when we are dreaming, we don't usually realize it. Only after we wake up do we say, that wasn't real. But what if there is another kind of awakening that we haven't experienced yet? What if what we call waking life is actually just another dream from which we have not yet awakened? This idea leads to some unsettling questions. If reality itself might be a dream, then what does that say about everything we think we know? Can we trust our senses? Can we be sure that the people around us are real? Descartes eventually tried to solve this problem by arguing that some things, like mathematics and logic, must be true no matter what. But his dream argument remains one of the most famous philosophical puzzles, leaving open the possibility that our experience of reality is not as solid as we believe. Both Plato's cave and Descartes' dream argument challenge us to think beyond what we take for granted. They make us think that the world we experience might not be the ultimate reality. Instead, we could be trapped in some kind of illusion, whether it is a dream, a false perception, or a limited version of something greater. And if that's the case, then dreams might not just be fleeting images in our sleep. They could be glimpses of another level of reality just beyond our understanding. Eastern philosophy has long questioned the nature of reality, suggesting that what we see, hear, and experience may not be as real as we think. Hinduism introduces the concept of Maya, which teaches that the physical world is an illusion. According to this belief, what we consider to be reality is like a dream, constantly changing and deceiving us into believing that material life is the only truth. Ancient Hindu texts explain that beyond this illusion lies a deeper, unchanging reality. The true self, what we call the soul, is connected to the universal consciousness. This idea suggests that just as a dream feels real until we wake up, life itself might be a temporary illusion, and only spiritual awakening can reveal the ultimate truth. Many spiritual seekers dedicate their lives to breaking free from this illusion, believing that enlightenment is like waking up from a long dream. Tibetan dream. Yoga takes this idea further, treating dreams as a gateway to deeper awareness. Practiced for centuries by Tibetan Buddhists, dream yoga teaches that dreams are not just random images, but a way to explore higher states of consciousness. Monks and practitioners train themselves to remain aware while dreaming, a practice that helps them understand the illusory nature of all experiences. They believe that if a person can recognize a dream as a dream while sleeping, they can also learn to recognize the illusion of waking life, bringing them closer to enlightenment. These teachings suggest that just as we wake up from a dream each morning one day, we may wake up from what we call reality and see the world in an entirely new way. It's fascinating because lucid dreamers often feel they can control their dreams, creating their own adventures while they sleep. Lucid dreaming is something when a person becomes aware that they are dreaming and, in many cases, gains control over the dream. Some people use this ability for fun, flying through the sky or creating entire dream worlds. Others, however, use it for self-discovery, practicing new skills, facing fears, or even seeking answers to deep life questions. Scientific studies have shown that the brain during a lucid dream is active in ways similar to waking consciousness, suggesting that these dreams may exist in a unique state between reality and illusion. Some lucid dreamers even report meeting other dreamers or encountering mysterious beings, leading to speculation that dreams might not just be personal experiences, but a shared, hidden dimension of existence. These experiences closely resemble what Tibetan Buddhists have practiced for centuries, showing a deep connection between ancient wisdom and modern science. The idea that dreams might be glimpses into a parallel life is deeply connected to one of the strangest and most debated areas of science, quantum physics. Unlike classical physics, which treats reality as fixed and predictable, quantum mechanics explains that reality might be far more fluid and uncertain than we think. One of the most fascinating theories in this field is the many worlds interpretation, introduced by physicist Hugh Everett. According to this idea, every time a decision is made, reality splits into multiple versions, each leading to a different outcome. In one version of reality, you might have chosen to take a different job, move to another city, or even live an entirely different life. These alternate realities exist side by side, though we are usually unaware of them. If this theory is true, it raises an intriguing possibility. Could our dreams be windows into these parallel versions of ourselves? When we dream of a life that feels strangely familiar yet different from our own, could we be briefly experiencing an alternate reality where we made different choices? Some researchers believe that dreams could be more than just random brain activity, and might instead be moments when our consciousness taps into these other versions of our existence. Another strange concept from quantum mechanics that adds to this idea is superposition. In the quantum world, particles can exist in multiple states at the same time until they are observed. This means that on a tiny scale, reality does not settle into one form until something interacts with it. Some scientists and philosophers have wondered whether consciousness itself might work in a similar way, existing in multiple states across different realities. If so, then dreams might not be mere imagination, but brief moments where our mind shifts into another version of ourselves. This could explain why some dreams feel so vivid and real, as though we are truly living another life. People often report dreaming of places they have never seen before, skills they have never learned, or even relationships with people they have never met in waking life. If consciousness is not limited to just one version of reality, then perhaps dreams are moments when we become aware of another path our life could have taken. Although mainstream science has not yet proven that dreams are connected to parallel worlds, the ideas of the many worlds interpretation and superposition suggest that reality might be much more complex than it appears. If there are multiple versions of ourselves existing at the same time, and if consciousness has the ability to shift between them, then our dreams could be far more significant than we ever imagined. Rather than being random stories created by the brain, they might be experiences from another version of reality, briefly shining through into our awareness. While this remains an open question, the possibility that our dreams might connect us to parallel lives makes us rethink not only what dreams are, but also what reality itself might be. Let's talk about one of the most famous experiments in this field, the double slit experiment, which kind of tells us that the act of observing something might actually change its behavior. In this experiment, scientists sent tiny particles like electrons or photons toward a barrier with two narrow slits. When no one was watching, the particles behaved like waves, spreading out and creating an interference pattern, as if they had passed through both slits at the same time. But when scientists placed a measuring device to observe which slit the particle passed through, the interference pattern disappeared, and the particles behaved like solid objects, choosing only one path. This raised a mind-boggling question. Why does reality behave differently when it is being watched? Some tries to explain that consciousness itself plays a role in shaping the world around us. If observation can change how particles behave, could our thoughts, awareness, and even dreams influence reality in ways we do not yet understand? Another experiment that challenges our understanding of reality is the delayed choice experiment. This takes the double-slit experiment even further by suggesting that the past itself may not be fixed until we observe it. In this version of the experiment, scientists set up a system where they could decide whether or not to measure a particle's path after it had already passed through the slits. Strangely, the results suggested that the particle behaved as though it knew in advance whether it would be measured, as if the present choice was influencing the past. This idea is deeply unsettling because it suggests that time might not be as linear as we assume. If the past is not truly set until it is observed, then could our dreams sometimes be glimpses of possible futures before they solidify into reality? This would mean that time is more fluid than we experience it, and that the future and past may be connected in ways we do not yet fully understand. There are countless reports of people dreaming about specific events before they happen in real life. Some dream of conversations with people they have not yet met, places they have never visited, or even tragedies that later unfold exactly as they saw them in their sleep. One of the most famous cases of this phenomenon is that of Abraham Lincoln, who reportedly dreamt of his own assassination just days before it happened. Another case involves people who claim to have dreamt of major world events, such as natural disasters or plane crashes, before they occurred. While skeptics argue that this could be coincidence or the brain picking up on subconscious clues, others believe that these dreams could be evidence that time does not move in a straight line. If quantum experiments show that the past and future are not fixed until they are observed, then perhaps dreams sometimes allow us to momentarily step outside of time and see possibilities before they become reality. This idea challenges everything we think we know about time, consciousness, and the nature of existence, suggesting that dreams might not just be random images, but glimpses into a much deeper and more mysterious universe. Psychologists have long studied dreams in an attempt to understand what they mean and why they happen. While some believe dreams could be glimpses into another reality, others argue that they are simply mental projections created by the mind. Two of the most influential figures in dream psychology, Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud, had different theories about what dreams reveal about us. Jung believed that dreams connect us to something much deeper than just personal thoughts. He proposed the idea of the collective unconscious, which explains that all humans share a hidden layer of the mind filled with ancient symbols, patterns, and knowledge. According to Jung, our dreams sometimes contain images and ideas that we have never personally encountered but seem familiar because they are part of this shared human experience. He called these recurring symbols archetypes and believed they appear in myths, religions, and cultures across the world. For example, many people dream of wise old figures, shadowy enemies, or journeys through mysterious landscapes, even if they have never been exposed to such ideas in waking life. Jung suggested that these symbols represent universal truths about human existence, and that by studying our dreams, we can tap into a deeper reality that connects us all. Freud, on the other hand, saw dreams as a way for the subconscious mind to express hidden desires and fears. He believed that our deepest thoughts, especially those we suppress in everyday life, find their way into our dreams in disguised forms. This is known as the wish fulfillment theory, which suggests that dreams allow us to experience things we secretly want but cannot admit to ourselves. Freud argued that because society forces people to control their instincts and emotions, the mind finds other ways to release them, often through dreams. For example, a person who wants to express anger toward someone but holds it back in real life might dream about a conflict or an argument. Similarly, someone who longs for something unattainable might dream of possessing it in another form. Freud believed that dream symbols were often disguised, meaning that their true meaning was hidden beneath the surface. He suggested that analyzing dreams could help people uncover thoughts and emotions they were unaware of, providing insight into their inner world. Both Jung and Freud agreed that dreams are not random but meaningful reflections of the mind. While Jung saw them as a bridge to a shared human experience, Freud viewed them as a personal outlet for hidden thoughts. Their theories continue to shape how we understand dreams today, raising important questions about whether they are just mental projections or something much more significant. If dreams contain messages from a deeper part of the mind, then they may reveal truths about ourselves that we do not fully understand when awake. Whether they are glimpses into a hidden reality or simply the mind's way of organizing thoughts, dreams remain one of the most mysterious and fascinating aspects of human experience. Dreams can reveal aspects of ourselves that remain unnoticed while awake. Some people report discovering deep fears in their dreams that they were unaware of, but later recognized as real anxieties affecting their lives. For example, a person who constantly dreams of being chased might not consciously realize they feel trapped in their waking life, but their dreams could be revealing a hidden fear of failure or loss of control. Others experience dreams that uncover emotions they have been suppressing, such as sadness, resentment, or longing. A person might dream of reuniting with someone they have lost touch with, only to realize upon waking that they still have unresolved feelings about that relationship. In some cases, dreams even help people discover hidden talents or creative abilities. There are stories of musicians, writers, and inventors who have woken up with new ideas or skills they had never consciously developed. Artists and writers have drawn inspiration from dreams that seem to come from a deeper part of their minds. Many spiritual traditions and personal experiences suggest that dreams might be more than just mental images created by the brain. Some believe that when we dream, we are not simply imagining things, but actually traveling to other realms beyond the physical world. This idea is supported by experiences that people have during near-death experiences and astral projection, both of which share striking similarities with dreams. Near-death experiences, often called NDEs, occur when a person comes close to death and later describes vivid and sometimes life-changing events. Many people who have had NDEs report floating outside their bodies, traveling through tunnels of light, meeting spiritual beings, or entering landscapes that feel more real than everyday life. These experiences often include sensations of deep peace, intense emotions, and even communication with unknown but familiar presences. Interestingly, these descriptions closely resemble what some people experience in dreams, especially lucid dreams where the dreamer becomes fully aware and in control. Both NDEs and dreams often feel more real than reality itself, raising the question of whether dreams might actually be journeys into other dimensions of existence. Another related concept is astral projection, the belief that the soul or consciousness can leave the body and travel through non-physical realms. Many cultures and spiritual traditions describe this practice, often connecting it to deep meditation, sleep, or intentional out-of-body experiences. People who practice astral projection claim to have visited strange and beautiful places, met other conscious beings, or even traveled to locations in the physical world that they later confirmed existed. Some believe that certain dreams, especially those where people feel as if they are flying, floating, or moving through space, could be unconscious experiences of astral travel. There are also reports of people who have shared the same dream with someone else, describing identical details upon waking, which leads to speculation that dreams could be more than personal experiences and may involve a larger, connected reality. The idea that dreams allow us to travel beyond the physical world challenges our understanding of consciousness and reality itself. If dreams and near-death experiences reveal hidden realms, then it suggests that life is not limited to what we see and touch. Ancient traditions, including Tibetan Buddhism, Hinduism, and indigenous shamanic practices, have long taught that dreams are a bridge between different layers of existence. Even in modern times, people continue to report profound dream experiences that feel like journeys beyond the limits of time and space. While science has yet to fully explain these mysteries, the consistent patterns in near-death experiences, astral projection, and dreams suggest that there may be much more to our consciousness than we currently understand. Whether dreams are actual travels to other realms or simply deep experiences of the mind, they continue to be one of the greatest mysteries of human existence. Many ancient cultures believe that dreams are not just personal experiences, but a way to connect with deeper spiritual realities. Shamanic dream practices found in indigenous traditions across the world suggest that dreams serve as a bridge between the physical world and the spirit world. Shamans, who are spiritual healers and guides, often enter dreamlike states to seek wisdom, healing, and messages from ancestors, spirits, or nature itself. These practices involve techniques such as lucid dreaming, vision quests, and ritual sleep to access hidden knowledge that is believed to exist beyond ordinary awareness. In some traditions, dreams are considered powerful enough to predict the future, reveal hidden truths, or provide guidance in making important life decisions. Many shamans believe that in dreams, the soul temporarily leaves the body and travels to other realms, where it can gather knowledge that cannot be accessed in waking life. One of the most well-known cultures that see dreams as a form of reality is the Aboriginal people of Australia, who hold a deep spiritual belief in what they call the dream time. Unlike in the Western world, where dreams are often seen as illusions, Aboriginal traditions view the dream time as the foundation of existence itself. They believe that the world was created by ancestral spirits who shaped the land, animals, and human beings, and that these spirits continue to exist in a timeless realm that can be accessed through dreams. In Aboriginal culture, dreams are not separate from waking life but are considered just as real, if not more so. They are seen as a way to communicate with ancestors, receive guidance, and even travel across vast distances. There are many stories of Aboriginal people dreaming of a distant place and later finding it exactly as they saw it, reinforcing their belief that dreams are a form of direct experience rather than just imagination. These traditions challenge the common idea that dreams are mere reflections of the mind, instead suggesting that they are a doorway to deeper truths that exist beyond our ordinary senses. Whether or not science can fully explain these experiences, the fact that so many cultures share similar beliefs about the power of dreams suggests that they may hold more meaning than we often realize. The idea that reality itself might be a simulation is one of the most thought-provoking theories in modern philosophy and science. This idea suggests that what we experience as reality could actually be an advanced artificial simulation, much like a computer-generated world. One of the most well-known arguments for this theory comes from philosopher Nick Bostrom, who proposed in 2003 that if civilizations continue advancing technologically, it is likely that some of them will develop the ability to create highly realistic simulations of conscious beings. If this is possible, then there could be countless simulated realities, each filled with beings who believe they are living in a real world. Since there would be so many more simulated realities than original, physical ones, Bostrom argued that statistically, it is more likely that we are living inside one of these simulations rather than in the original, base reality. This theory raises the unsettling possibility that everything we see, feel, and experience, including our own thoughts and emotions, might be part of a programmed reality rather than a naturally occurring one. This idea connects deeply with the ancient philosophical question of whether we can ever truly know what is real. Similar to how dreams feel real until we wake up, the simulation hypothesis suggests that we might be inside a reality that only appears real because we have never stepped outside of it. Just as a character in a video game does not realize they are inside a programmed environment, we might also be unaware that our reality is artificially created. Some scientists and philosophers point to strange aspects of physics that could support this idea. For example, in quantum mechanics, particles behave unpredictably until they are observed, much like how graphics in a video game only load when a player looks at them. Some researchers have even suggested that the structure of the universe resembles computer code, as if reality itself were built from mathematical rules rather than physical matter. If this theory is true, it raises profound questions about the nature of our existence. Are our thoughts and choices truly our own, or are they pre-programmed by some higher intelligence? If reality is a simulation, who or what created it, and for what purpose? Some believe that if we are in a simulation, it could be an experiment run by an advanced civilization, or even a way for beings in another world to experience different lives. Others suggest that this simulated reality could be a form of training or learning, where consciousness temporarily exists inside a programmed world before returning to a higher plane of existence. This idea closely mirrors spiritual beliefs found in many ancient traditions, which describe the physical world as an illusion from which the soul must eventually awaken. If our waking life is a simulation, then dreams could be something far more mysterious than we realize. Many people assume that dreams are just random thoughts created by the brain, but if reality itself is a programmed illusion, then dreams might be moments when our consciousness connects to something beyond the simulation. In a video game, characters are programmed to follow a specific reality, but sometimes glitches or hidden pathways reveal that there is more to the world than they normally see. If our world works in a similar way, then dreams could be those hidden doorways, giving us brief glimpses of a deeper reality that exists outside of the programmed experience we call waking life. Some people report dreams that feel more real than their everyday existence, as if they have stepped into another world where their senses are sharper, their thoughts are clearer, and the rules of physics do not apply in the same way. These dreams often leave a lasting impact, making people wonder if they have briefly connected with another version of themselves or another layer of existence that they are not normally aware of. One reason dreams might hold clues about the nature of reality is that they often follow patterns that resemble the way a simulation would work. In dreams, environments can shift instantly, time can move differently, and people can appear or disappear without explanation. These experiences mirror how a virtual world operates, where reality is not fixed, but can be reshaped at any moment by the underlying code. If the waking world is also a simulation, then these dreamlike qualities might be hints that the reality we experience during the day is just one version of many. Some researchers in the field of quantum mechanics have suggested that our perception of time and space is not as solid as we think, which could mean that dreams are moments when we temporarily break free from the programmed version of time and reality that we experience while awake. There are also people who report having dreams that seem to connect to real places, people, or events they have never encountered in waking life. Some describe visiting cities they have never seen before, only to find that those places exist in the real world. Others meet people in dreams and later recognize them in waking life, despite never having met them before. While skeptics argue that these experiences are coincidences, they raise interesting questions about whether dreams are simply brain activity or something more profound. If the simulation hypothesis is correct, then perhaps dreams allow us to temporarily access another level of existence, either by revealing a hidden part of the simulation itself or by letting us step outside of it completely. If dreams are glimpses of another reality, then they may serve an important purpose beyond just processing daily experiences. Some spiritual traditions suggest that dreams are a way for the mind or soul to travel beyond the limits of physical existence, learning lessons or gathering knowledge from other realms. Others believe that lucid dreaming, where a person becomes aware inside a dream and can control it, is proof that reality itself is flexible and that consciousness has the power to shape it. Whether or not science can fully explain these experiences, the possibility that dreams are connected to a deeper truth about existence challenges the way we think about both waking life and the nature of reality itself. If we accept that our world could be a simulation, then dreams might not just be illusions but moments of awakening, offering us clues about the true nature of our existence. Dreams often contain strange and impossible events that seem completely normal while we are experiencing them. We might find ourselves flying without wings, meeting people who have passed away, or moving through places that shift and change in ways that defy logic. These glitches in dreams feel like moments when reality bends, allowing things to happen that would never be possible in waking life. Some scientists believe that these dream distortions are simply the brain's way of processing memories and emotions in a chaotic way, but others wonder if they reveal something deeper about the nature of reality itself. If our waking life is structured and predictable, why does the mind create a world where the rules are different when we sleep? Some people believe that these glitches in dreams might be a sign that consciousness is not fully bound by the physical world. If reality is more flexible than we assume, then dreams could be moments where we temporarily step outside of its usual limits, experiencing things that do not follow the rules of space and time. A similar mystery exists in waking life through a strange phenomenon known as the Mandela effect. This term was coined after many people around the world shared the false memory that Nelson Mandela had died in prison in the 1980s, even though he actually lived until 2013. Since then, many other cases of shared false memories have emerged, where large groups of people remember events, names, or details differently from what is recorded in history. Some recall a famous children's book series as the Berenstain Bears, when it is actually called the Berenstain Bears. Others insist that certain movie quotes or brand logos were once different, even though there is no evidence that they were ever changed. While skeptics argue that these are just mistakes in memory, some believe that they could be signs that reality itself is shifting, or that we are moving between slightly different versions of the world without realizing it. When we compare the Mandela effect to the strange glitches in dreams, it raises an interesting question about the nature of reality. In both cases, people experience moments where something feels undeniably real, only to later discover that it does not match the facts. Just as dreams can place us in familiar yet altered environments, the Mandela effect suggests that even waking life might not be as stable as we assume. If our perception of reality can be inconsistent, then perhaps both dreams and waking life are part of a larger, more fluid existence. Some theories suggest that consciousness might be shifting between different versions of reality all the time, but we only notice these changes when something feels out of place. If dreams reveal a world where anything is possible, and the Mandela effect hints at inconsistencies in waking life, then both might be signs that reality is not as fixed as we believe. Whether these experiences are caused by the brain, a deeper layer of existence, or even the nature of time itself, they remind us that what we call reality may be far more mysterious than we can currently understand. Dreams are often thought of as personal experiences that exist only within the mind of the dreamer. However, there have been many reports of people sharing the same dream at the same time, describing identical places, events, or conversations despite having no way of communicating with each other during sleep. These experiences raise an important question. Can dreams connect us in ways we do not yet understand? Some believe that dreams might function like an invisible network, allowing thoughts, emotions, or even entire dream scenarios to be shared between people. There are stories of close friends, family members, or romantic partners waking up and realizing that they both had the same dream, sometimes down to the smallest details. In some cases, people who are separated by great distances have claimed to meet in a dream and later confirm that they both remember the same events. While skeptics argue that such experiences are coincidences or the result of the brain filling in gaps in memory, others believe that shared dreaming may suggest a hidden connection between human minds, one that extends beyond the physical world. Some scientists have explored the idea that minds may be able to communicate during dreams, a concept often referred to as dream telepathy. One researcher who studied this phenomenon is Rupert Sheldrake, a biologist known for his work on morphic resonance. Sheldrake proposed that all living beings are connected through invisible fields of information, which he called morphic fields. According to this idea, thoughts, behaviors, and even dreams could be transmitted through these fields, allowing minds to communicate without direct physical contact. Sheldrake conducted experiments to test whether people could sense when they were being watched, or if they could receive thoughts from others without speaking. While his ideas remain controversial in mainstream science, they align with countless personal experiences of dream sharing, where people report a deep, almost telepathic connection with others in their dreams. Some experiments have attempted to study dream telepathy under controlled conditions. In one famous study conducted at the Maimonides Medical Center in the 1970s, researchers asked one person to focus on a specific image before going to sleep, while another person, sleeping in a separate room, was monitored to see if they would dream about the same image. Some results suggested that there was a higher than random chance of the dreamer picking up details related to the chosen image, but the results were not strong enough to be considered scientific proof. Still, these studies raise the possibility that dreams may not be entirely private experiences, and that under certain conditions, minds may be able to connect in ways we do not fully understand. If shared dreaming is real, it could mean that dreams are more than just random brain activity. They could be a form of communication, a way for minds to interact beyond the limits of the physical world. Some cultures have long believed that dreams are a space where souls can meet, exchange messages, and even travel together. While modern science has yet to fully explain these experiences, the possibility that dreams can connect people challenges our understanding of consciousness and suggests that reality itself may be more interconnected than we realize. Whether through an unknown scientific process or a deeper spiritual connection, the mystery of shared dreams continues to intrigue those who experience them, hinting at the vast, untapped potential of the human mind. There are many stories of people who claim to have met each other in dreams and later confirm details that they had no way of knowing beforehand. These experiences challenge the idea that dreams are just private thoughts within the brain, and suggest that dreams might be a shared space where consciousness can connect beyond the physical world. Some of the most fascinating cases involve two people dreaming of the same location, conversation, or event, and later realizing that their memories match. There have been reports of long-distance friends who met in a dream, described identical surroundings, and later confirmed their experiences through messages or phone calls. Some even describe meeting strangers in dreams, only to recognize them later in real life. While skeptics argue that these experiences could be coincidences or the result of the brain creating false memories, The level of detail and the emotional intensity of these encounters suggest that something deeper might be happening. This raises an intriguing question. Could dreams be another form of communication, almost like an invisible internet connecting minds? In everyday life, people communicate using words, technology, and physical interaction. But what if there is another way to exchange thoughts and experiences beyond the limits of speech and space? Some researchers and philosophers believe that human consciousness may be interconnected in ways we do not yet fully understand. The idea of a collective consciousness has been explored in different fields, from psychology to quantum physics, suggesting that thoughts, emotions, and even knowledge may exist in a shared mental space rather than being confined to individual brains. If this is true, then dreams could function as a kind of natural communication network where people unconsciously exchange information, emotions, and even experiences. Throughout history, many cultures have believed in the idea of a shared dream world. Some indigenous traditions teach that dreams are not just personal, but part of a larger spiritual landscape where souls can interact and learn from one another. In modern times, there are cases of people who dream of future events or receive knowledge they could not have learned through normal means. If dreams are tapping into a larger field of consciousness, then they could act as a bridge between minds, allowing people to connect across distances, just as the internet allows instant communication between computers. While science has yet to fully explain these experiences, the idea that dreams might be more than just individual imagination opens up profound questions about the nature of reality and the potential of the human mind. If consciousness is not limited to the brain, then dreams might not just be personal experiences, but glimpses into a hidden network of thought, emotion, and shared awareness that we are only beginning to explore. People often assume that waking life is more real than dreams, but this belief is based on habit rather than clear proof. When we wake up, we dismiss dreams as illusions because they fade quickly, and we return to a world that feels solid and familiar. But what if dreams feel just as real while we are experiencing them, because they are another form of reality? While awake, we rely on our senses to tell us what is real. We see, hear, touch, taste, and smell the world around us, believing that these experiences confirm the existence of physical reality. Yet in dreams, we also see, hear, and feel things, sometimes with even greater clarity than in waking life. We can experience joy, fear, pain, and even taste or smell something in a dream. If dreams can produce the same sensations as waking life, then what truly separates the two? One of the reasons dreams feel real is that our brain processes sensory information in a similar way during sleep as it does when we are awake. Studies have shown that the same regions of the brain that activate when we experience something in real life also activate when we dream about it. This is why a dream can feel as real as any waking experience while we are in it. It is only after waking up that we question its reality. But even then, some dreams leave such a strong impression that they stay with us for years, just like important events in waking life. Some people even experience lucid dreams, where they become fully aware that they are dreaming and can think, make decisions, and control their surroundings. In those moments, the dream world does not feel like an illusion. It feels as real as anything else. Another reason we believe waking life is more real is that it follows a predictable pattern. We wake up in the same place every day, surrounded by familiar people, objects, and events. Dreams, on the other hand, often change unpredictably. Places shift, people appear and disappear, and the rules of physics do not always apply. But just because something is unpredictable does not mean it is less real. Reality itself is based on perception, and if we judge something as real simply because it is stable, then we might be ignoring the possibility that reality can take different forms. Many spiritual traditions and even modern theories in quantum physics suggest that reality is not as fixed as we assume. If that is true, then dreams may not just be fleeting illusions but glimpses into a different layer of existence that we do not yet fully understand. If we strip away our assumptions, the line between waking life and dreams becomes less clear. Both states create vivid experiences, both allow us to think and feel, and both shape our understanding of the world. The main difference is that we wake up from one and not the other. But how can we be sure that waking life is the ultimate reality? Philosophers like Descartes have argued that since dreams can perfectly mimic reality, there is no way to prove that we are not dreaming right now. If reality is just what we experience through our senses, and our senses can be fooled, then perhaps reality itself is not as solid as we believe. Whether dreams are just mental projections or another form of existence, They remind us that reality is more mysterious than it seems, and that what we accept as real may be only one version of a much larger truth. One of the strangest aspects of dreaming is how time seems to move differently than it does in waking life. A person can fall asleep for just a few minutes and yet experience what feels like hours, days, or even years in a dream. This phenomenon, known as the time dilation effect, raises deep questions about how the mind perceives time and whether dreams exist in a reality separate from the one we experience while awake. In waking life, time feels like it moves at a steady pace, governed by clocks and natural rhythms. But in dreams, time can expand, contract, or even loop in ways that seem impossible. Some researchers believe this happens because the brain is not processing time based on external cues like the movement of the sun or the ticking of a clock. Instead, the experience of time in a dream is shaped by thoughts, emotions, and the complexity of the dream itself. Since the brain can create entire landscapes, conversations, and events in an instant, a dream that seems to last for hours could actually be unfolding in just a few moments of real time. Some of the most fascinating cases of time dilation in dreams involve people who claim to have lived entire lifetimes within a single dream. These experiences go far beyond the typical long or vivid dream, and instead involve dreamers who wake up with detailed memories of a life they never actually lived. Some describe growing up, forming relationships, learning skills, and even aging within a dream, only to awaken and realize that no time has passed at all. One well-known case involves a man who dreamt he lived for decades as another person, remembering a full life with a family, a home, and years of experiences. When he woke up, he was overwhelmed by the loss of that life, feeling as though he had been ripped away from a reality that was just as real as his waking existence. Another reported case involved a person who dreamt of being a monk in an ancient temple, spending years in meditation, studying sacred texts, and gaining deep wisdom, only to wake up and find themselves back in their ordinary life, feeling as though they had lost a lifetime of learning in a matter of minutes. These cases challenge our understanding of time and consciousness. If a person can experience years in a dream that lasts only minutes, then what does that say about the nature of time itself? Some researchers suggest that because the brain does not rely on external time markers while dreaming, it processes information in a way that creates the illusion of extended time. Others believe that these experiences could point to something even deeper, such as the possibility that consciousness exists beyond the limits of physical time. Some spiritual traditions suggest that dreams allow people to access different layers of reality, where time does not function in the same way as it does in waking life. Whether these experiences are purely psychological or hint at a greater mystery, they reveal that time is not as fixed as we assume. If dreams can stretch time in such dramatic ways, then perhaps our understanding of time in waking life is also limited, and reality itself might be more flexible than we think. If dreams are more than just random thoughts and actually represent a parallel life, then their role in our lives could be far more important than we realize. Instead of being meaningless images created by the brain, dreams could be a gateway to self-discovery, healing, and even decision-making. Many people have experienced moments in dreams where they gain insight into their emotions, fears, or hidden desires. Some wake up with a new understanding of a personal problem, while others find comfort or closure after seeing a lost loved one in a dream. Dreams allow the subconscious mind to communicate in ways that waking thoughts often cannot. If they connect us to a deeper reality, then paying attention to them could help us navigate our waking lives with greater clarity. Some psychologists even use dream analysis to help people uncover emotions they have buried, believing that dreams reveal truths about the self that are hidden from everyday awareness. There are also many accounts of people facing fears in dreams and waking up with a newfound sense of confidence or relief, suggesting that dreams may play a role in emotional healing. Beyond self-discovery, dreams may also help people improve real-life skills. Scientific studies have shown that the brain treats imagined or dreamed experiences almost the same way it treats real ones. This means that practicing something in a dream could actually strengthen the same neural pathways used in waking life. One study conducted by researchers at Harvard University found that people who practiced playing a musical sequence on a piano in their dreams showed similar improvements as those who practiced while awake. Other studies suggest that athletes who visualize or dream about training can enhance their actual physical performance. Lucid dreaming, in which a person becomes aware they are dreaming and can control their actions, has been used by some people to intentionally practice new skills. Some report using lucid dreams to refine complex movements, such as playing sports, dancing, or even learning new languages. This suggests that if dreams are connected to a parallel reality, they might provide an additional space for learning, growth, and mastery beyond what is possible in waking life. If dreams can help us discover hidden aspects of ourselves, heal emotional wounds, and even improve real-world abilities, then perhaps they are not just another reality, but an essential part of our overall experience as conscious beings. Instead of dismissing dreams as illusions, we might consider them as an extension of life itself, offering insights and possibilities that we have only begun to explore. Whether they are messages from the subconscious, connections to another dimension, or something entirely different, dreams seem to serve a meaningful purpose. If we learn to pay closer attention to them, we might find that they hold answers to questions we never thought to ask, and opportunities to grow in ways we never imagined possible. If dreams are not just random experiences but a form of parallel life, then we may have responsibilities in them just as we do in waking life. This raises deep questions about the nature of morality, choice, and accountability. In waking life, our actions have clear consequences because we exist in a shared world with rules, social expectations, and personal responsibilities. But if dreams are another form of reality, do the things we do in them carry any weight beyond sleep? Many people assume that what happens in dreams does not matter because it is not part of the physical world. However, if dreams are connected to another dimension of existence or an extension of our own consciousness, then our actions in them could have unseen consequences. Some people wake up from dreams feeling deep emotions, such as guilt, relief, or even love, as if their dream experiences were real. Others report learning lessons in dreams that change the way they think or act in waking life. If dreams truly matter, then we may need to rethink how we approach them, not just as personal fantasies, but as meaningful experiences that shape who we are. This also leads to the difficult question of whether moral responsibility applies in dreams. If someone commits an act in a dream that they would never do in waking life, does it reveal something about their true nature? Philosophers and psychologists have debated this issue, especially in relation to violent or unethical dreams. Some argue that since dreams are beyond our control, they do not reflect a person's real character. Others believe that if a person repeatedly engages in harmful actions in dreams, even without consequences in the waking world, it might indicate hidden desires or suppressed tendencies. There have even been cases where people have woken up disturbed by their own dream actions, questioning whether those choices say something deeper about who they are. In some cultures, dreams are considered an extension of moral life, meaning that people are responsible for their behavior in both waking and dreaming worlds. Some spiritual traditions teach that karma applies to dreams just as it does to waking actions, suggesting that what we do in dreams might influence our personal growth or future experiences. Another ethical dilemma is whether actions in dreams should be treated the same way as actions in waking life. If someone harms another person in a dream, does it matter if no real-world harm is done? This question becomes even more complex in lucid dreaming, where the dreamer is fully aware and can make conscious choices. Some people use lucid dreaming to experience things they cannot do in waking life, including both positive and negative actions. If dreams are just mental simulations, then they may be a safe space to explore without consequences. But if they are a form of reality, then they could have a deeper impact on the mind, shaping thought patterns, emotions, and even future behavior. Some studies suggest that the brain reacts to dream experiences in much the same way it does to real-life experiences, reinforcing habits and emotional responses. This means that even if dreams do not directly affect the physical world, they could still influence how a person thinks and acts when awake. If dreams are another life, then they may come with responsibilities we do not yet fully understand. They might not follow the same rules as waking life, but that does not mean they are meaningless. Whether they reflect hidden parts of ourselves, connect us to a deeper reality, or simply shape our thoughts and emotions, dreams have the power to affect us in ways we are only beginning to explore. If we take them seriously, we might find that the choices we make in dreams matter just as much as those we make when awake, not because of external consequences, but because they shape the person we are becoming. Dreams remain one of the greatest mysteries of human experience, touching science, philosophy, spirituality, and personal reality in ways that defy simple explanations. We have explored how neuroscience explains dreams as brain activity, yet quantum physics hints at realities beyond our perception. We have examined how philosophers question the nature of reality itself, while spiritual traditions suggest that dreams are a gateway to deeper truths. We have seen cases where people experience shared dreams, glimpse possible futures, or even live entire lifetimes within minutes of sleep. Each perspective offers a different way of understanding dreams, yet none provide a definitive answer. Perhaps that is because dreams, like reality itself, are not meant to be understood in one fixed way. If a dream feels completely real while we are in it, then does it matter whether it is real in the way we define waking life? Every experience shapes us, whether it happens in sleep or wakefulness. If dreams influence our emotions, decisions, and even our ability to learn, then they are just as much a part of our existence as anything else. If they provide insight, connection, or self-discovery, then they are not meaningless illusions but valuable extensions of our consciousness. Whether dreams are glimpses of a parallel life, messages from the subconscious, or something beyond human understanding, they remind us that reality may not be as fixed as we believe. The best way to answer these questions is through direct experience. Lucid dreaming, dream journaling, and simply paying more attention to dreams can open new doors to self-awareness and exploration. Instead of dismissing dreams as random stories of the night, we can see them as opportunities to learn, grow, and even question the nature of our own existence. Perhaps waking life and dreaming are not separate at all, but part of the same continuous journey of consciousness. The only way to know is to explore, to question, and to remain open to the possibility that reality is far greater than what we see when our eyes are open.